How's it going, everybody? I'm going to start off this video today by giving a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my 12-year-old brother who made that intro that you just saw. He's pretty talented for being 12 years old, so thank you, Jason. Today I'm going to be talking about pre-spawn and all of the stuff associated with that. Now, to start off, where am I going to be fishing during the pre-spawn? I'm currently in the back of this creek here. You're going to want to look for creeks. First, you're going to want to start by fishing the backs of the creeks. If you live up north and your lakes freeze, you will know that the lakes unfreeze from the shallow to the deep, and those shallow areas are gonna warm up first. So the fish will usually start to move up shallow for the pre-spawn when the water hits about 50 to 60 degrees. It can be a little bit cooler. If you're up north, it can even be in the mid 40s. But down here in Georgia, it's about 55 typically. So when the water hits about that temperature, I'm gonna start fishing the backs of these creeks. And I wanna fish creeks that have hard bottoms on them. This one is about 50% rock and 50% dirt or sand, give or take. So I'm gonna be fishing back in here. What am I going to be using during the pre-spawn? Reaction baits are going to be my number one go-tos. Currently I got a 3/8 ounce chatterbait. I'll fish a 1/4 ounce slipless crankbait, jerk bait, jig. I mean, anything that really causes a reaction strike. Those are usually my go-tos. Sometimes I'll go finesse. I do like fishing finesse with such as a weightless fluke or trick worm or a craw, anything like that. Basically anything really will catch fish during the pre-spawn. Those fish are going to be getting ready they're feeding up for the spawn. So honestly, just about anything works. Match the hatch, they say. And so usually I'll throw on a lipless crankbait. That'll be my first go-to. Then the chatterbait jig, all of that stuff. All right, so the backs of the creeks are going to be my first area I'd like to fish. And the seconds are going to be points like those. Any points really, those are where the fish are going to stage to get ready to spawn. Again, you're going to want to look for hard bottoms such as rock. Rock usually works fairly well in my opinion. And also, when it comes to fishing the backs of these creeks, you're going to want to look for creeks that are on the northwest side of the lake to cover from that north and that west wind. The fish like to be out of that north and west wind. So then another place you can fish during the pre-spawn, I don't think it's as productive as the backs of the creeks or points or anything like that, but you can fish these docks, and the bait fish will hold to those pilings. Those bass are going to feed on those bait fish, and so I like targeting docks, with pilings on it, specifically wood ones. Wood holds heat a little bit better, but this is, I mean, it works. I don't think it works as well as going at the backs of the creeks or the points or anything like that. I'm going to make a dock video this summer all about fishing docks and what to look for and all that stuff. But dock's another one to go to. I know, like during the pre-spawn, the fish are usually going to be up shallow, and on this lake, you can see the bank. I think you can see the bank from my point of view. But at the end of this dock right here, the water is probably at 15-20 feet deep, and because this lake has some really steep drop-offs. In fact, in the middle of this creek here, it drops off to about 45 feet. So typically I'm going to want to fish on the banks, and it's going to be the same way. I'm going to want to fish the north and the west banks. Those are usually going to be the most productive to shield the fish from those north and west winds. And so that is what I'm going to look for when I'm fishing in the pre-spawn. So as a general rule of thumb when you're fishing the spawn, basically a general rule of thumb when you're fishing anyways, is match the hatch. These bass, they're going to be feeding on the bait fish and things of that nature. So what you're really going to want to do is match what the fish are eating. If the fish are feeding on craws, throw on a craw. Fish are feeding on bait fish or shad, herring, anything like that, throw on one of those. You want to match what the fish are eating, and you're going to be successful if you do. All right, so if you have to take anything out of this video, know this: pre-spawn is going to be the time of the year that you want to fish, because the fish will pretty much bite on just about anything, and you can fish shallow, which is my favorite way to fish. And the fish will bite, like I said, the fish will bite on pretty much anything. look for hard bottom, rocks, points, backs of these creeks, anything like that that'll be productive, anything that'll hold bait fish, the fish will be attracted to before they start spawning. And it's my favorite time of the year to fish. So make sure y'all get out fishing.